Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Cities Skylines with our Atlantis Challenge episode 2 with the series here. We're going to go ahead and get ready to unpause. Now, last time we left off, we had finally kind of constructed the very basics of our city. We got it up and running, and the water, it's going to meet us this episode. She's on her way here. You can see it moving on in from all around. You can see it pouring over the edges of the wall in the distance. The corners are the heaviest. And the outside edge is not as much, but still very, very bad, especially the middle here. And the water has united off here in the center, so it's only a matter of time. We're going to lose Stonehenge here at some point as well. Let's go ahead and keep pushing forward. Residential is going to be a primary goal. We're already making money. We do want to focus on the roads as well. I want to get these connected. I just didn't want to waste the money for it earlier, but I'm ready to waste the money for it now. So we'll go ahead and do that, like so. Just going to make it a lot easier for people to get around. They don't got to go to the ends and back. Obviously, these people aren't going to be happy about it, but you know what? They're just going to have to learn to live with it, because that's the way things go. All right, trash removal is going to be the next most important step, and I see that we're having a power issue. And that's probably because we don't have enough generating power here. What do we got? Yes, we're just borderline generating enough. Not an issue at all. Luckily, there is so many areas here. This whole ridge here is just perfect for wind, and even over here, and it's on the high ground, which is nice. So we could just keep kind of adding to it as we need for now, until we don't need to anymore. So that'll handle the power issue as soon as she starts up and gets cranking along. I actually double check it one more time. There we go. Yep, it's perfect. And that's going to handle it. All right, so now we got to deal with, we actually have a very low demand for residential, which isn't too bad. We got a trash issue we're going to have to combat. Now, for the trash issue, we don't need a whole lot. Boy, the dark, it really does get dark, but the sun is rising. Okay, the water is almost to us now. You can see that it's about to reach our shores, and I'm not going to lie, I'm slightly nervous to actually reach the shores up here. Just started touching that area up there. All right, and daytime's coming. As soon as daytime here kicks off, we'll go ahead and do a few things. Did I not ever zone these? See, this is supposed to be residential. I must have messed that up. It's supposed to be industrial. Thank you. See that there's a little messed up, but it's all right. It's what you get sometimes. All right. Yeah, all in all, our city's looking pretty good. You can see we're already generating $1,000 a week. That's pretty good weekly income. Population could be better, but it's not bad. Obviously, we're not building more houses, so that's hurting the population here. We're going to need to create a way to remove trash shortly. I'm not focusing on it just yet, but I will be focusing on it in a minute. And I do want to also work on getting our residential area better set up. So we've got the 4-lane here. It's probably fine the way it is. I will drag it out a little bit more so I can get one more district in here. How can I? It's got to go over just one more. It's not too bad. Just right there is going to actually do it. Make a couple of people unhappy, but she'll be all right. Actually, right there is, no, that's not it. So we'll have just the slight line in between. At this point, not too big of a deal. No, water's on its way, so we don't have a whole lot of time. We gotta make do. That will demo that house. And I'm gonna switch. Let's see. We don't really need a whole lot for residential. The 2-lane roads are fine. I'm gonna switch over the 2-lane roads from here on out. I can always expand this another direction if I have to, but this is going to work here for what it is. You know what? That'll probably bother me, though. So, yeah, I'm sorry, people, but I'm actually going to bulldoze your guys' house down to make room for the growing of our city, and you're just going to have to live with it. That'll be fine for now. We can go with 2-lanes roads from here on out. We've got to expand off this way. I'm going to add more residential. That is not residential. That is residential. We'll add more of that. Now it's going to get kind of torn down more and more as things get built. We do have a medium demand for it, so we should see these houses crop up here shortly. We're seeing the commercial moving in. The water has now reached our shores. Still filling up a few areas. I'm okay with this. It hasn't severed this yet, and we still have a little bit of land down here. It's only a matter of time, though. I think I'm going to go ahead and put the trash. You know, it makes sense to build the trash in an area like up here where it's going to be safest for the longest, right? Versus putting trash over here on this hill. Because once this gets flooded, this will be separated. But I could potentially build a bridge if I had to try to keep it alive. I mean, the whole point is to try to kind of grow up into here, right? We got to grow up onto this mountain if we're going to make it. Income is doing really good, though. And we're seeing people moving in. It's pretty good sized houses, too, actually. Nice. All right. I can always grow the commercial off this way. Industry could grow over a little bit more as well. Trash is starting to pile up. I can't get the recycling or the incinerator yet, and I can't get the recycling center because I do not have the money for it. Recycling center is very expensive. 16,000. We could save up for it. Recycle more different kinds of waste. When the city has a recycling center, making less garbage pile up. The city center produces small amounts of raw materials from the waste. Yeah, I'd love to get to a recycling center, but we're probably just going to get stuck with a landfill. We're going to get stuck with it very rapidly. I got to make a decision on where to put the landfill. I'm going to pause the game real quick. Landfill. Half of me wants to bring it over here. It just makes sense to bring it over here. Because it'd be very expensive to build a bridge if I put it over here, and we would eventually lose it. But by then, I could probably just put the recycling area plants over here. Hopefully, I'll have enough money by then. So let's just go ahead and put it over here. If we lose it, we lose it. It's just going to be a trash area. I'm not going to build a recycling area just yet. We'll put it down a road here. Like this. It's just going to work. Now it's going to be about finding an area that's flat enough we can make it work. Can I go like this and build it? Is that going to work? So you're actually going to make me try to spend money to terraform that, huh? Or do something with it. I can't even do that yet. Right back here is probably flat. Ah, it's flat enough right here. It's just not... Oh, it's flat right there. Alright, there she is then. We'll just go ahead and refund ourselves this. Right, so that's going to deal with trash, and we've got 10,000. More and more people moving in. Water has now reached the shore, and it's all filled in all around us. It's starting to get a little dodgy in some of these areas. We're going to lose that quickly. That'll fill up quick. No, it'll be up to here in no time. But yeah, it's filling up. We're going to have to grow off this way. Money's going to be the biggest thing. Trying to get as much money as we can to deal with that. We don't have any high demand for any more residential. I can make more industrial down this way. That's gonna help hopefully make a lot of jobs. We could use more commercial. This isn't connected. You know, people got to leave the whole city if they end up. Let's see. But that's not a big deal. They just don't go down this road if they don't want to leave. It works. I can probably bring this out this way and put a bunch of residential here. I'd lose it very quickly. And I could bring a road out this way and do a bunch of commercial. If I wanted to do like a one-way road they could turn onto from here, I could do that. Even a two-way road would work fine. I don't know if I'm going to utilize the train or not. I don't think I have the time. I don't think I have the time to utilize the train. I definitely don't have the time. We're just going to not worry about it. Water's already becoming an issue, I see. It's because I haven't built pipe far enough out this way. It's not a problem. We know we're going to expand this way up into the higher areas, so let's just focus on doing that. Like so. And power is going to be an issue again. And we've got Worthy Village, though. Now we've got a couple of different things. We could do different loans, districts. We've got now emergency services, police department, unique buildings. And we'll mess around with that in a second. We got to mess with power here first. We'll just drop 2 of those. We've got the money to do it. We're doing pretty well on money, actually. Why don't we get a... Oh, we get a clinic. It's not a bad idea. I'll have to tear down some houses. It's going to make people very happy, though. 10,000 is a lot, but boy, do we need it. Do the least amount of damage would be right there. There we go. So that deals with the health capacity. We're going to start seeing a medium demand for residential again, which is good. We'll let that get a little bit higher. We can start mapping the roads out for how I want to do it for that. I think I want to expand it this way. Oh, we don't need to expand that much. Actually, I wonder if I want to do commercial here and then do another residential area over here and then push. Kind of makes sense, right? We could go like this. Actually, that makes the most sense. Like that. All right, we're back up to high demand. That's what I wanted to wait for. We're going to split this kind of half and half. So let's grab our paint tool. We should see houses going pretty quickly. I'm going to drop industry. I said I wanted to expand off this way. It's not really ready for that yet. And then off over here, I don't want this to be industry. I know that. There's commercial here. All commercial zoning. Like that. We've got the money. Let's get the water here next. It's not going to reach there. But it does work like that. Hate to overlap it too much, but that's how it's going to have to... That's fine. We're not really in the business for trying to overcomplicate it. 2,000 weekly in taxes. We're doing all right. Oh, no! Stonehenge. Stonehenge is underwater already. It is rising very rapidly. A lot of these here turning into kind of a little bit of an archipelago over there. Which was originally just like more of a peninsula. getting higher up on the bridge, higher off over here, and we don't have even close to the amount of money to be able to handle it. We either expand off this way or we try to so here, okay, so this was the part that I was like, all right, we're gonna have to talk about this eventually, and that is whether or not we try to expand towards the wall and do something like dig a hole through the wall, but that might not be practical because it's very expensive to do. Or we try to expand higher up onto the mountain and build higher and higher up to buy more time. If we get flattened off and like terraform some of this up here, it's really high. So we could potentially survive at the top of this mountain for a long enough time that we can make it work, right? Maybe. It's a possibility. I think that that's the best route to do. I think we should first address trying to get the city in a safe place, and then next address how we're going to actually combat everything. Now, with that being said, what's it going to cost? 3,100. So we're going to go ahead and purchase this right off the bat and try to start building that way as quick as we possibly can. And that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. You see it's a lot higher over here if we can start digging into the side of this. I think what we'll do is we'll try to move residential over here as quick as possible, bridge across, and then just start building up into the face of the mountain, using whatever money I can to terraform and get some flat land. Eventually, we will lose all of this down here. The other hard thing is going to be trying to either connect to this bridge, or eventually when we lose the bridge, it's just going to be sustaining population with people that are just inside the city versus trying to do it with anything else. Oh yes, we'll have to deal with the water situation down here. How could I be so naive? It's fine. Probably would have grew a lot quicker had I done water. This isn't even going to have power because all of this would actually have to fill in. We'll see. It might still fill in, kind of. Taxes up to 1,800. This is filled in nicely. We have low demand for all of this. Low demand for pretty much everything. We're kind of just waiting for the rest of this commercial and industry to fill up. We can do some things. We've got the money to spend on maybe a few other stuff. How are we with power? We're all right now. We put the clinic down. We don't have the money yet for the police station, but we're going to want to get one. Okay. Alright, so the water has now reached the shores of the main island. You can see it's already put most of this underwater. Eventually may even be a problem for our area over here. We've almost got the next milestone in, which is the Worthy, or not the Worthy Village, but the, I forget what the next one is. But she's coming up here. Come on, industry, grow this way. Don't make me have to spend money on power. You're going to make me spend money on power. Alright, that's fine. We can just tear it down at some point. Be alright. There. Problem solved. For now. Alright, tiny town, that's what it is. So now we finally unlocked landscaping. That's going to be one of the more important things. We've got canals, which we can kind of mess with. Wide, deep canal, medium canal. We might be able to use those to our advantage. Maybe. Freshwater outlet. Okay. Create lakes and ponds can be turned on and off to help with possible flooding. If the city produces less water, the same amount it consumes, a freshwater outlet won't let out any water. Can this be used? Placed on dry land, creating lakes and ponds. Water evaporates and the outlet can be turned on and off to help with possible flooding if the city produces less water or the same amount it consumes. It won't let out any water. Don't know if that's really gonna do what we need it to do. Just releases excess water. So not gonna help us at all. Eco water outlet. Green alternative with eco water outlet is quite expensive. It helps purify the water let out of it. Pollution is reduced, but not wholly gone. The outlet lets out polluted water from the sewer system. See, that's not important for us right now. Now we got the terraforming tool, so this is going to be very expensive. We're going to save the terraforming tool mainly for being able to try to flatten off areas where we've got to build city, like up here. That's going to be where it's going to be the most useful. We do things like water structures. We can build flood walls. That might buy us a little bit of time. But probably won't buy us a whole lot. They're very expensive. $10 a cell. We may put a flood wall along this area here just to buy time. Even if it only buys us like an extra 2 or 3 months worth of money, that could be pretty important. Shallow canals accept only a small amount of water. They can also be used to regulate water flow into deeper canals by placing a stretch. So just trying to see if there's anything here we can use. A wide, medium canal. Use different canal types to adjust how much water flows into a canal. Canals automatically create pathways that ferries can use. And I'm kind of curious if we did a canal, if we could somehow... I don't think it really does anything. Just reroute water some way. I wonder if we built to the edge and did a canal through it. I don't think it would work the way I would like it to work. The wall, this is definitely going to be useful. Well, we'll find a use for that, one way or another. We've already filled up all the demand for residential, and we're going to need to address that again right now. I'll start building up into this area here, or at least keep building out into here. I think this area is somewhat higher, not a whole lot. It tapers off over here. We could build over some. Like so. Okay, and this will just be one big... Should be one big... Ooh. One big residential area. Commercial could still plan on being here. And then, I hate to expand the industrial area into a spot that's going to be somewhat flooded, but let's just go ahead and do it real quick. We're going to need more industry, right? You know what? We don't. We have plenty. There's no demand for industry right now. In fact, they're hurting for workers. We got some criminal stuff happening, too. We need to save up. Oh, we actually have saved up. We need to get a police station. It's fire safety. Let's go ahead and get the police station right now. Good area for a police station would be somewhere right here. It's going to cover a lot that way. I'm going to be taking 2 houses down no matter what. So let's just go ahead and do this. Covers pretty much the whole city. It's pretty good range. All right, so that should help deal with some of our issues with crime. And overall, people are pretty happy. Money's still coming in, and the population's still going up. You know, police are dealing with crime. Love it. Now, do they actually reach off over here? Probably not. It's alright. Landfill's going pretty good. How's traffic looking? See, this has actually been pretty efficient for a traffic. The way I've set the roads up, we don't have a whole lot. It's not backing up. It's staying relatively good. I did not connect these here, and I kind of wish I did. I can still go back and do it. Probably not a big deal. We lose some businesses, but let's do it because we need it. Ooh, it actually doesn't line up all the way. That's going to set me off a little bit. You know what? I won't connect it from here to here because of that. I'll just leave it. Don't be freaking underwater anyways here shortly. Not even going to worry about it. But with that being said, we are out of time for this episode. It's a great place to leave it off as the water rises. It's almost reached our power lines. We may have to rebuild these power lines here shortly. We're going to see this up to the power line level here shortly. It's going to be up over here as well. The very first break wall I'm probably going to build to try to stop some of the water from coming over is probably along this ridge here. See if I can just prevent it, but I don't know. It'll be a while before it gets up into here. It's got some time before it gets over here. This is definitely the area that's going to be the worst. It's high enough over here. I'm not worried about it, but yeah, this right here, this is a very shallow area. So probably dealing with this, whether I build that wall or such, is going to be a thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to save up money for that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to expand the city off this way. Try to keep moving up that mountain, as well as buying out the land up over here to be able to build up and in. And then from there, deciding what we're going to do after that. The main thing going to be trying to figure out how we're going to deal with the bridge as well. And that's going to be a problem. We'll have to address all of that. Oh, let me quickly fix this before we sign out. The power issue won't be much more of an issue because this will all get built. We could do the coal power plant. It's not a bad idea. It does create heavy pollution. It's very expensive though. We'll just keep dropping these. Half of this is going to be underwater at some point. This will probably all be underwater too. And just make sure we cover all of this. This is gonna grow. Am I gonna grow this way? Probably not. I'll probably move and build another commercial district off over here. I think I'll just go like this. There. And that kind of future-proofs us for expanding off this way. And it costs a lot of money, but we'll get it back pretty quickly. We're growing fairly substantially fast now. All right, so with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me for this episode. I do hope that you've enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next time.